Hello and welcome to my week 2 milestone for my Guild Wars companion application. So this week I made a substantial amount of progress dealing with the APIs and so the page that I worked on the most is actually this tab right here, World v World. That's what it stands for, WVW. So when we click on the page, for those who do not know what's going on, so this is 3 servers fighting it out in the video game, and for an example, let's get the map out. So my application reads from the API of the game, and as you can see, our map is exactly the same as this map. This does update every couple seconds. It'll refresh the page to make sure that our map is up to date with the API. So one of the biggest challenges that I had while coding this was trying to find a way to open URLs in a runnable to constantly refresh. So that was really hard. I had to do a runnable, new thread, and inside that new thread another runnable, and it was pretty complicated to figure how to update this page from the API every couple seconds. It pretty much that was one of the biggest things. So as you can see in the background, there are currently 4 maps. We got all the maps. So we got our desert borderlands right here as well, constantly updating with the API every couple seconds. We have our blue borderlands and our green borderlands constantly updating every couple seconds. So this, it may not seem like much, but this was such a pain to code, and pretty much everything that this page can do now, my application can do now as well. I pretty much was able to implement everything that this site has to offer. Of course, like some little things, some little touches that I could add. I could add little things like that, but that'll just be nitpicking, and I don't really see these as a priority right now. I've been working on this page for the whole week, so I'll probably revisit this when I have time. But little icon symbols like what guild has taken over each territory, I'll go back for that. But for the most part, everything that this page and other World v World applications can do, mine can do now. So I think it's pretty cool. I spent quite a bit of time working on it. So now we're gonna dive into how exactly I did everything. So I have almost 2,000 lines of code. So we're gonna start off. We're gonna go slowly. So of course, we start off. I open a new thread. We open API link, and that'll get us to the official Guild Wars 2 API. What's going on? And so there are layers on layers on layers of JSONs, but to simplify it, there are 4 objectives, as you can see up here. We're going to control find. Currently 4. The way I sorted it out was each of these is its own map, and once I was able to figure that out and organize it smoothly, I needed to find out which territory belonged to what. So there was another API. So as you can see, this one's 38 tech 9. We'll just do 38 tech 9, and there we got it. We got this whole territory, 38 tech 9. A lot of the things I did have to hand code myself with a whole bunch of if statements, so I can link them up to each individual icon on the UI. So it was a hassle to link these up to each individual icon, and I spent the whole week working on this page right here, just decoding the JSONs, pretty much organizing it, formatting it, and saving in all this information to an array. So that's pretty much what's going on at the very top couple hundred lines. Just me reading from the URL, and then when we get to the bottom of the page, it's not as big as coding, but this is where I made my own class. I made my own runnables class where it takes in the variables that I needed, pretty much at the time. And then inside of it, I gave it a special function where inside this runnable, it has it creates a new thread, and then it runs that thread. So pretty much run new thread run was the only way I was able to make URLs open in the background. So it's pretty complicated, but it took me a while to figure that out. And inside here, it's not as much code. I'm trying to simplify it because this is constantly updating every couple seconds in the background, and I don't want to take up the user's process battery because doing too many functions lags the process. And at the very bottom, I have a selector to tell which layout is selected. So the second the user changes layouts, it's done. It's not going to update anymore. Like this right here will stop any layouts or any updating in the background for this specific world versus world page. So that's what's mainly going on here. Let me rerun it. But I think so the hardest challenges I had the week was trying to figure out how to organize all the JSONs. This is a humongous page, and the second I figured out how to decode it, organize it, things just started going smoothly. And then of course linking everything up, which is very time consuming because there are like about 100 things I had to link individually, so it was just pretty time consuming. But we'll recap. This is the UI page. We have pretty much, we can verify that this is up to date, and it will update every couple seconds. So let's just say a territory on here or on. So this is just Guild Wars 2, actual Guild Wars 2. This is another application doing the same thing. As you can see, this one has been taken over. As you can see, this one also just changed to blue. So that's how you're able to tell that my app is doing everything this app can do in real time. And not just this Borderlands, every single map for this game is updating. And I'm reading directly from the API. I'm probably going to get to a stopping point with this because I want to work on other parts of the app. And just pretty much, I wanted to make it user-friendly. Of course, the server name hasn't really been implemented. I'm going to change server name from here to the actual player server when I do more options. So pretty much it's going to be type in your API key, your character API key, and it'll populate these things. Like I already have it right here, populating right here. I'll eventually get to this, but for the most part, I spent a lot of the times reading the APIs for this, and that's mainly it. In short, I was able to get this entire web application into my product, and that pretty much sums it up. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed, and have a great day.